Yo, what's going on, guys? It is time for another reaction video, and Stephanie is here with me again, and today we are going to be checking out Japan. This is coming from the YouTube channel Currently Hannah, and it is 10 unique Japan travel spots, hidden gems, and off the beaten track locations for your next trip. And I think that's just about every letter of the alphabet in that title.
Let's see.
You ready to check out some stuff from Japan stuff?
Yes, for sure.
All right, let's get into it.
If you've already been to Japan before, I'm almost certain that you've already seen Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. There is so many more amazing places in Japan, and I'm about to let you in on the secrets as a sample to my brand new travel guide, Beyond the Tourist Trail, available now on my website. So let's get started. 10 unconventional, unique destinations in Japan, starting with number 1, which is Beppu City in Oita Prefecture. Beppu is a very unique seaside town that is famous for onsens. They have a lot of volcanic activity happening under the ground, meaning that there are a lot of these big giant vents throughout the city. It's really picturesque, it's quite beautiful, and there's a lot of really...
What are those vents? They just said it's volcanic.
That's what I was about to say.
So like right under your home, there's like a vent, like you're not scared of it at all. Like it's cool for it.
That's what I was wondering. Is like, how active is that volcano?
Yeah.
Like, can it still erupt?
She makes it sound like so okay. Like.
I mean, it's one of those risks that people, I guess, take. Forgive Stephanie for the waving. There's a gnat or something we've been trying to get rid of. We tried to get rid of it before we started filming, but we just can't.
Wait, I think I got it.
Did you finally get it?
Yes, I did. Yes.
It was just wanted some camera time, and then it was like, all right, I surrender.
All right, guys.
But yeah, no, I wonder like how active that volcano is. I don't think I could ever live that close to a volcano that still has the ability to erupt. That's just crazy.
That would be quite scary.
Really cool and interesting things to see there. So I would highly recommend going to the Jigoku Hells tour. They're basically hot springs and onsens that you cannot bathe in. You'll probably die if you get into it. And they're all different colors, and they're very impressive and very beautiful. The other things that you can do, there's like a sand bath, which is the sand that's heated up from the steam vents happening underneath the ground, and then they bury you in it. And it feels so nice. It's like a warm hug, like a...
I think that'll be kind of itchy. I mean, it might feel nice in the next 5 minutes, but afterwards, I'll be like, I need out.
I wonder, because they're obviously wearing clothes. I wonder if they give you something to wear specific so that, like, after you're done, you take that off back to your regular clothes, or maybe it covers your clothes. But you look like a loaf of bread.
Something.
But I mean, I could see the warmth of it being kind of like calming. It would almost like be going into, what are the steam when you close yourself in the rooms and they're like all hot.
A sauna. Like
a sauna?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a sauna. Okay, so yeah, it seems kind of like that, but you're doing it in the ground instead.
I guess.
Maybe they'll tell us more about it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, and it's just sand, just gritty, like... That would have. I would hope there's a place to go rinse off afterwards or something, because I just couldn't have that on me constantly.
Yeah, I could not.
That would be the end of the day kind of a thing you do before you go home and shower.
Yeah, let's just like fill bars with this sand or whatever. Oh my gosh, no, I couldn't.
Just feeling gritty all day.
Yeah.
Big old weighted blanket. It's a really fun experience, and you get to look out over the water, so I would highly recommend that. And also they do a lot of steamed food, like steamed vegetables and that kind of thing, which are steamed using these vents coming out from under the ground. It's a very unique city, and I've really enjoyed my time there.
Volcano steamed vegetables.
Well, at least they're not using a lot of electricity, I assume, because it's all natural. Like,
yeah.
Interesting.
That's interesting though, yeah.
To get there, I would fly to Fukuoka Airport first and then catch the train down to Beppu Station. And then from there, all of the places that I just listed can be accessed using one of the buses that leaves pretty frequently from Beppu Station. I've got links in the description down below for more information. Generally, I just use Google Maps to plan out my trips. Even buses are quite accurate now as well. So yeah, go and do that, I guess. Number 2 is Tsubame Onsen and So Falls. This is one of those locations that I get a lot of people asking me, like, where is it? What is it? So Falls is a big, beautiful waterfall in the distance of these misty mountains, and Tsubame Onsen is right next to it, and it's this milky, natural outdoor onsen, and it's just, you're surrounded by the trees, and there's mist everywhere, usually, because it's a misty area, and it's just lovely. And I think the onsen was free as well. It was just there, like, So good. No, it wasn't free. You have to like donate or something. There'll be a sign out the front. It's great. I've loved it there. To get there, from Nagano Station, take the train all the way to Sekiyama Station, and then catch a bus from there all the way to the end of the ride at Tsubame Onsen. It takes about 18 minutes, costs 500 yen, and it doesn't run on weekends or public holidays. Again, link in the description. I'm gonna stop saying that because there's a link in the description for every place on this list.
So I'm pretty sure, I think I told you earlier about a YouTube couple that I follow called Kara and Nate. And I think they have a video where they went there and they were saying like pretty much everybody skinny dips in these things. And so like you have to be like kind of comfortable like being with some strangers, because she looked like she was skinny dipping.
Yeah, I've never been to like a nude beach before, so that would definitely be like a first time experience. Like, I don't know if I would feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean, it may not be a necessarily required thing, obviously, but you should just go into it like that other people might be.
Yeah.
So,
At least act like.
yeah, to each his own. But she was there. It looked like she was by herself. So
Yeah.
So by now you've probably realized that these locations are quite spread out amongst Japan, so hopefully it can offer some kind of inspiration to you. But if you would like to know 20 of my top favorite hidden gems in Japan between Osaka, Tokyo and Nagano, then you're going to absolutely love my travel guide, brand new, called Beyond the Tourist Trail, which is now available on my website. Beyond the Tourist Trail is a travel guide ebook with over 150 pages of 20 top hidden gems with over 100 extra off the beaten track locations. It includes step-by-step travel tips, exact location pins, public transport information, and maps presented beautifully in one easy to access PDF. I'm sure you're already aware that some of the top travel destinations in Japan can be so busy.
What do you think, Andrew?
This is my own personal nightmare.
It's really frustrating to be herded around like sheep, especially when you've spent so much time and effort planning your trip, which is why I've created the travel guide that I would have loved to have when I first arrived in Japan. I've done all of the research for you, I've laid out every way to get there, created maps and itineraries, and I've even translated.
Hey, her app looks pretty cool, you know, like she's just like showing you around, and then like it has guidance where to get to where. I think y'all should definitely check that out. Like,
Yeah.
that looks pretty nice.
and I think she said it's just a PDF, so you just download the PDF.
The whole PDF there, like everything is like ready.
Yep. If I ever visit Japan, I might have to look it up myself.
Yeah.
Entire bus schedules into English so that you don't have to guess anything anymore.
Wow.
There is a bunch of Japanese travel tips as well as Japanese phrases that you should learn before you go, and also even a survival guide for vegans and vegetarians. So while I'm about to give you 10 wonderful places you should visit in Japan, I have still kept all of my absolute favorites in this travel guide instead. So whether it's your second trip or your 10th trip to Japan, I can almost guarantee you that there's going to be places for you to add to your bucket list. So avoid the crowds, support the locals, and get ready for a truly unique experience in Japan with Beyond the Tourist Trail, available now on my website. Thank you so much. I've been spending so much time and effort making this guide, and I think you're going to absolutely love it. Anyway, back to the video. Number 3 is Nachi Falls and the big beautiful pagoda sitting right in front of it. This place is absolutely beautiful, but it's a little bit off the beaten track, a little bit further away, so it just means that a lot less people go and visit it. It's a really beautiful shrine. There's like a whole thing, there's a tree you can climb inside of.
Oh, wow.
It's a really like cool place, and the waterfalls are just mwah, so pretty, really, really stunning. It's also part of the famous pilgrimage hike, the Kumano Kodo. Okay, to get there, take the train to Ki Katsura Station, then a bus bound for Nachi-san. Get off at Nachi no Takimaya bus stop, which will take about 30 minutes. The next location is actually in my travel guide that I just mentioned, which is Shirakawa-go. This place is so mwah, it's just beautiful. It's magic.
It looks like an imaginary little town, like a little gnome village, huh?
The little houses are so cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. It reminds me of that movie, like Lord of the Rings, I think.
Yeah, kind of like that,
right?
yeah.
Magical. It's beautiful in every season. It's surrounded by nature. It's got history. It's got everything. I'm in love with this place. This place has become famous for its gasha zukuri, which is a thatched roof house, and it just makes for the most beautiful photo. So to get here, catch the train to Takayama Station, and from there, it's a 50-minute bus ride away, costing 2,600 yen one way. Once you're in the town, everything is accessible by walking, so take your time and enjoy the view. The next location is Asakuju National Park. I've been here a couple of times already and I've loved it every time. It's a massive national park with a huge volcano.
Why does it everywhere there looks like a meditation place? Like looks like you can totally relax and like meditate. And
Everything's zen.
Everything's zen, exactly. Like it looks so chill.
I like one of the things I enjoy about doing these countries and cultures reactions is like just seeing all the beautiful places in the world, because let's face it, like I'll never be able to afford to travel to all of these places or have the time to travel to all these places. But if I can at least see them through somebody else's lens, then it's kind of somewhat of an experience.
Right.
But it also helps me decide like what places I do want to focus on trying to visit. But yeah, I wish we have some beautiful places in the US. We definitely do. But I feel like they don't really compare to a lot of the places we see in other countries.
Yeah.
We got Grand Canyon, and it's pretty cool. Been there a couple times, and we've got a lot of like beautiful national parks that I've yet to check out. But there's some places in Canada I want to go. There's some places in Norway I want to go, and some in now maybe in Japan.
Yeah, Japan.
So cool.
In the center. It's an active volcano, it's constantly spewing out sulfuric gases, and there's just so much unique, interesting kind of nature and landscapes here. I have loved it. It last erupted in October of 2021. It was quite spectacular, and no one was injured or anything like that, luckily. They have quite a number of different like sensors and what would you call that, like safety levels in place, and like if it goes past a certain level or if the wind changes direction or something like that, they'll close off that area. They're always constantly monitoring it.
Like how would you feel? Like imagine like the air must be like pretty hot while the thing is erupting. Like like I don't know like how close or how far you have to be to still feel like the heat.
I don't know, and I think that the way volcanoes erupt might vary dependent on where they are and how close they are to the equator. Because I know in some places, like when the volcanoes are burning, the ash will still go up in the air, and it comes down almost like snow. So I wonder, like in this instance, like where it erupted, if there was a lot of that in the air, or if it's different there where it doesn't have as much of the, I guess, like the ash waste kind of just floating around in the atmosphere and in the air. I don't know much about that. I do know I watched a documentary earlier this year on, and it was crazy, man, but it was I believe it was New Zealand. And it was a bunch of tourists that were visiting a volcano, and you have to go in by boat or helicopter, and it actually erupted.
Oh no.
And all these people, like a lot of them got killed and like burned to where their skin's falling off.
Oh no.
And all these people went out there to rescue them. And so the story was being told from some of the survivors or some of the people that helped to get people off of the volcano. And so now I don't remember all the details, but I think the tourism to it is either completely shut off or much more limited than it used to be. I wish I could remember the name of that documentary. If anybody's watching and knows what I'm talking about, comment below. But
I think people turn into rocks if they are completely into
well, you
lava.
just gone. You just completely gone.
Yeah, they become rocks like the way they happen. Like, oh my gosh, that's so creepy.
There's videos out there from when one of the ones in Hawaii, I believe it was, sometime over the last decade erupted, and you just see this lava just like slowly rolling in.
Yeah.
And just completely like engulfing cars, and then the car's just completely gone. You don't even like, it was like a car was never there. So yeah, if a human, you would just be eviscerated. Like you'd just be gone.
Back in the early 2000s, like wherever like we were starting with the computers and all that, like I had this encyclopedia. It was like a CD, and it would show like it would put like parts of the world, and it was showing like pictures of like people like they were like petrified.
Oh,
by,
like frozen.
Yeah, like from the lava, and I was just so impressed with that because it was my first time seeing it, and then like I can't only imagine.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
It's like a CD encyclopedia.
Yeah, it was like Encyclopedia Britannica or something like that. But like that actual.
It was so interesting.
They almost became like stone, sort of.
Yeah.
I can't remember what country that was in, but I know what you're talking about. I've seen that. That's just creepy. Like, I don't know, man. I just wouldn't want to live that close to something that
sounds risky.
Yep, it's very high risk.
and updating it, so I always felt safe when I was there. But in saying that, they do frequently close a lot of the time, so it really just depends on the weather. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. To get there, it is definitely going to be easier by car rental, so if you can rent a car, please do it. You can see so much more with that. But if you don't have a car, public transportation is available. From Kumamoto Airport, catch the Kyushu Odan bus from the airport to Asakuju area. It only takes 50 minutes to get there, but once you're in the area, you'll need to catch more buses to explore further. There's a number of different viewpoints and different interesting things to see around the whole area, so there'll be buses to catch throughout there. Alternatively, you could catch the train to Aso Station and then a bus to one of the many bus stops in the area, taking only 26 minutes. The next location is Nikko. I have mentioned this place recently in a video because I said that it's better than Hakone, and I stand by that. Nikko is a lovely, slightly touristy, but still a little bit authentic town that's very close and very easily accessible from Tokyo. It's beautiful in autumn, it's got a lot of history, but it also has a lot.
I like how they have the statues dressed up.
Yeah.
Lot of beautiful nature as well. I highly recommend trying out their famous food, which is called yuba. And it's kind of like if you like heat up milk, or like soy milk in this case, and it sounds kind of gross, but stay with me. You know what, like it gets that like skin on top of milk. If you like take the skin off and you put it down, and then you just like keep taking the skin off it until it's gone. And then you've got like multiple layers of skin, right? Of like soy milk skin, and then you like roll it up and they chop it and they do all kinds of things with it. It tastes a lot better than it sounds, but yeah, it's great and it's vegetarian, yes! To get to Nikko, I would take the Shinkansen to Utsunomiya Station and then change here to the JR Nikko line and then get off at Nikko Station. It will take about 1 hour 40 minutes in total. When you're in the town, you can catch one of many buses to get around town. I would get off at Chuzenjiko Onsen bus stop, and from there you can access the waterfalls and the lake within a walking distance. The next spot is kind of a combination of 3 places in Hokkaido, and that is Shikaribetsu Igloo Village, Chapel on the Water, and Shirogane Blue Pond. Hokkaido is the largest prefecture in Japan. It gets incredibly snowy, but also quite beautiful in summer as well. There's so much to see there, which is why I narrowed it down to just this small area. Shikaribetsu Igloo Village is this really cool like snow festival built on a frozen lake, so it's obviously just in winter. There's like an onsen on the lake, an onsen on a frozen lake, which is crazy, and like a little like frozen bar that you can go in and drink.
I've always wanted to go to like a frozen bar. Like I've had friends that have traveled, and then I was like, I always thought that was so cool. I mean, you definitely have to wear a jacket, you know, obviously, but I wonder, like, that must be taste pretty nice.
They have these ice castles and things like that. It's one of those that would be like a 1 day or 1 night experience, because the ones that I've seen where they actually stayed the night, it's like you have to be dressed in like triple layer clothes, and then you're in like a thermal sleeping bag, and then you're still freaking cold. But it would be cool to try it at least once. And this looks interesting too, like how they just have everything chilling on these blocks of ice. It's crazy that they can construct stuff like this.
Yeah.
Drink out of an iced glass. I really enjoyed my time here. I thought it was very unique and fun. Chapel on the Water is a beautifully designed chapel from, holding in my excitement, from my favorite architect in Japan named Tadao Ando, and he does really, really beautiful, usually like concrete, hard, sharp angled buildings. He relies a lot on like light and shadows, and this place is just stunning. It's usually booked out for weddings a lot of the time, so just check ahead of time if you can visit, usually in the morning or the evening. And it's attached to the Hoshino Resorts in Hokkaido, which is a beautiful resort chain in Japan. So,
have you seen the movie called The Menu?
I don't know.
It's a recent movie. It looks like it potentially could have been filmed in this room.
It looks tiny. It looks like a small room.
Yeah, well, this is supposed to be like a chapel, but like, yeah, the movie's kind of strange. If it was in fact filmed here, it was like set up as like a restaurant, and this would have been like all tables for food and drinks. It's a really strange movie. If you would know if you saw it.
So just check ahead of time if you can visit, usually in the morning or the evening. And it's attached to the Hoshino Resorts in Hokkaido, which is a beautiful resort chain in Japan. So there's a lot of things to do in the area. And lastly, Shirogane Blue Pond is a bright blue pond that I think it's that way because of the minerals in the water. And it's just stunning all the time. Absolutely stunning.
I've seen that one a couple of times on some other videos. It's a beautiful place. Like that's one of those places I would just probably take like a million photos.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of places to take pictures that I can tell.
Winter though, it usually the snow gets so packed that you can't actually see the pond. But like just before winter, beautiful.
Awesome.
To get to Lake Shikaribetsu, it's not super easy to get there, but if you've got a lot of time, I highly recommend it. Take the train to Ohibiro Station and then the bus to Lake Shikaribetsu, which will take around 2 hours. There's only 4 buses a day, so plan ahead. To get to the pond, catch a bus from BA Station to the pond. It will take about 20 minutes. And then to get to the chapel, take a train to Tomamu Station and then a shuttle bus to Hoshino Resort, which will only take 5 minutes. I have completely forgotten what number we're up to, so the next place is Kurashiki Bikan Historical Quarter. Unfortunately, when I went there, I was there for like a photo job, so I don't have any videos of it, but I've got many photos. Sorry about that. So yeah, this town is beautiful, it's lovely, it's cute, it's charming, it's quaint, and they have these lovely little canals that you can sit in boats in and ride around the town. It's very historical, there's lots of cafes and shops and all kinds of things there, and it was just lovely. Getting there is very easy, just take a 10-minute walk from the JR Kurashiki station. The next spot is Amami Island, or Omami Oshima. This is a small little island that's kind of in between Okinawa and Kyushu, so it's not as far down as Okinawa, but it is just as beautiful. I love this place. I especially loved it because it wasn't super touristy. There wasn't very many people around at all. It felt very untouched.
It's a pretty beach.
I know.
And it looks like warmer climates because they're in shorts.
Uh-huh.
And then the fact that they said there's very few people.
So in Japan, they have like a side of it that it's like snowy and a side is like beach-like that you can enjoy, like different types of seasons, like in one place.
My guess is, let's see. I would imagine everything on this side would probably be warmer.
Yeah.
And everything on this side would be cooler just because that's the side that's facing more continents and this is facing just the ocean. I could be wrong. But yeah, there's a lot of places like everywhere is going to have your hot and cold season. Like for instance, right now in Australia, it's winter right now. But it's just that we always see like what we know of locations. We know them for their prime seasons, right? So when you see like these snow and things like, you're like, oh, they have snow there. But if you think about it, like,
yeah, but it's such a small like island, and then like they have such like opposite like you know like weather. Like one side you go into the beach, on the other side of the island is just like snowing. Like how does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, we're about right here, I think.
Touched, but the beaches are lovely. I just really love that kind of like beach island life that isn't very touristy yet. To get there, you have to fly. I think there might be a boat, maybe. But I would just fly. It's going to be a lot faster and actually a lot cheaper. I think my flights were like $100 return from Tokyo. Public transport is quite limited there, so please rent a car if you can. But if you're catching public transport, you can get a bus from the airport to a lot of different areas in Amami. There's about 10 different routes that split and go towards other areas of the island, leaving every 30 minutes or so. And the final location, number 10 on the list, possibly my favorite out of all of them, is called Ochijuku. This is a small little post town very similar to Shirakawa-go, but they have the most awesome, coolest snow festival in winter, and I loved it. It was so much fun.
I've seen this one a couple times too. There's a few YouTubers I follow that are photographers.
Yeah.
And they did a couple days here, and they were doing all these amazing photos here.
I think the weather thing that we were talking about, maybe because they have a lot of mountains, and then that.
Yeah, because it's the higher elevation.
Yeah, the high elevation part.
Yeah.
Coolest snow festival in winter, and I loved it. It was so much fun. They've got little shops set up, and there's like mochi everywhere in the trees, and there was like games and competitions, and then at the end they had this fire festival tradition thing where they ran down the middle in these tiny little shorts with fire, and it was awesome. I loved it.
I don't know about the tiny shorts part, but like this wrap around the stomach, I could probably use that myself just to kind of
you just get a piece of
tuck my stomach in a little bit.
Sheet around it, cut it, turn into shorts.
My man girdle and make me look thinner in the stomach, and you know. No. But I don't need the thong part of it.
No, please no.
I really, really, really love this area. I haven't been able to see it yet, like in any other seasons, but it also looks beautiful. But I can highly recommend going to the Snow Festival. I had a great time. This spot is a little bit further away, but to get there with public transport, you should make your way to Aizu Wakamatsu area and catch the train to Yunokami Onsen Station. From there, catch the bus 20 minutes to Ochijuku. It costs around 2,030 yen one way from Aizu Wakamatsu.
I want to see something real quick.
Remember, like, imagine like you're trying to remember all of those names. Like she did a great job because like those names sound complicated.
She said 2,030 yen. Okay, so like $14 US.
Wow, that just sounds like a lot.
Yeah, the 2,030.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I have to see at least one.
One way.
Yeah, just see what it comes out to.
Station. And there we have it, 10 beautiful, wonderful, unique locations in Japan that are not in the Golden Triangle. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really hope more than anything that you love my travel guide. I have spent so much time on it, perfecting all the tiny details, and I think that you're gonna love it. If you like this video, you're gonna love whatever I've got in the guide. Whatever I've got, you're gonna love the guide. So thank you so much if you do that, and if not, go and check me out on all of the other socials and do the end of video thing.
I think I'm gonna follow her.
Yeah, so guys, her name is Currently Hannah. That's her YouTube channel. Actually, I'm gonna hit subscribe right now myself. Yeah. If you want to see more from her, this was a very well put together video. So I encourage you guys to go check her out, subscribe to her channel if you like this video. Also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up here as well. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see more from me and Stephanie, this is video 3 of 6, I think. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, I don't know what order they're gonna get released in. But yeah, so we're filming 6 videos today, and they'll be released over the next couple of days or the next week or two. So yeah, check them out. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
See y'all
Later.